यस्यान्तर्नादिमध्यं न हि करचरणं नाम गोत्रं न सूत्रं नो जातिर्नैव वर्णं न भवति पुरुषो नो नपुंसं न च स्त्री। स्वामिन् नमस्ते नतलोकबन्धो कारुण्यसिन्धो पतितं भवाब्धौ मामुद्धरात्मीयकटाक्षदृष्ट्या ऋज्व्यातिकारुण्य सुधाभिवृष्ट्या। स्वामिन् नमस्ते स्वामिन् नमस्ते स्वामिन् नमस्ते स्वामिन् नमस्ते। जय गुरु जय गुरु जय गुरु। So every day this is happening. When I start, the voice is very bad, but when I talk, because I'm talking about Brahman, I think I'm having the grace and my voice also opens up, but not very satisfactorily. So we'll go back to that scene. Imagine that scene. Identify yourselves with the Shishya who has come in search of a Guru and who, with lot of humility, with prostration at the feet of the Guru, is telling him that I do not know anybody else where to go to. I feel that I am fearful. So many things happen in this world. Waves of adversity sometimes come and I feel that I am getting drowned. So I am having a lot of fear. I have come to you for protection. Please save me. Save me from this worldly ocean. And Shankaracharya is saying that when such a person comes who has enough mumuksha, who has been following disciplines of sadhana chatushtayam, having viveka and vairagya, maybe not very intensely, but he has. So, to such a person, any guru should impart the knowledge of the self. The spiritual knowledge should be told to him. And this is what the Upanishads also say. A similar shloka is there, a mantra is there in Mundaka Upanishad. In Yoga Vasishta, it is said that when a Shishya, a person who is having vairagya and is having noble qualities, has come for getting the knowledge, has come to a guru, then a person, a guru, if he has the knowledge, all his knowledge will go in vain and it will be not worthy enough if he doesn't impart that knowledge to the Shishya. So, when the Shishya has said that I feel afraid, Bhitam prapannam paripahi mrityoho, I'm feeling that I will drown and I will die. So he says that, please tell me, I'm feeling like this. Is there any way to cross this ocean? And what is my fate? Who will protect me? When he has said like this, the Guru looks at him and just by his glance, there is abhayam, fearlessness imparted to that seeker. And the Guru says, Ma bhaishta vidvam stavanastapayah
Ma bhaishta vidvam stavanastyapayah.
43rd shloka. Samsara sindhostaranestyupayah.
संसारसिन्धोस्तरणेऽस्त्युपायः
येनैव याता यतयोऽस्य पारम्.
येनैव याता यतयोऽस्य पारम्
तमेव मार्गम् तव निर्दिशामि.
तमेव मार्गम् तव निर्दिशामि
मा भैष्ट विद्वंस्तव नास्त्यपायः. He is saying, I feel that I will die. The Guru says, Ma bhaishta. Ma bhaishta. Don't fear. You will not be destroyed. Samsara sindhos taranes upayah. Samsara sindhoho taranehe upayah. There is a way to cross this worldly ocean. So don't fear. You will not be destroyed. Yenaiva yata yatayosya param. Many seekers have tread that path and crossed this worldly ocean. Many seekers, yogis, and those who have been treading this path, yatayaha, the ascetics, all of them who wanted to go beyond this worldly ocean, they have gone. There is a way to go there. Tameva margam tava nirdishami. That road or path, I will tell you. He says, my son, don't be afraid. I am there. I am telling you, there is a path which many like you have tread and have gone to that abode of fearlessness, reaching where there will be no fear anymore, no affectation or affliction anymore. I will let you know the way. I will put you on that path. I will lead you there. Hold my hand. You know, in Bhagavad Gita, there is a very beautiful verse in 10th chapter, 11th shloka, where Shri Krishna is saying, Teshamevanukampartham aham ajnanajam tamah nashayamyatma bhavastho jnanadipena bhasvata. He is saying that out of compassion for seekers, remaining as their very self, I, who is that I? The Supreme Self. I destroy the darkness of ignorance by the effulgent lamp of knowledge. So here also, there Sri Krishna is saying that whoever seeks this knowledge, remaining in their heart as the Supreme Self, by kindling the lamp of knowledge, I remove the darkness of ignorance from their mind. Similarly here, the Sadguru is saying, Ma Bhaishta, don't be afraid. I am there. I will show you the way. I am remembering Baba. When I first stepped on this spiritual path and I started writing to him, I wrote what? At the very young age of 23, I wrote to him that I'm finding, suddenly I have found and understood that this world is transitory and nothing remains permanent here. The joy that we have one day, next moment it goes. So what is the permanent thing? I feel burdened by this thought. I'm not able to enjoy anything, feeling that nothing will remain. So Baba, in his first letter to me, had written, don't fear. The Lord is within you. And that gave so much of confidence. When a seeker with true yearning, true mumuksha, true seeking to have some knowledge, or maybe he doesn't even know what will quench his thirst, what will quench the yearning. He doesn't know, but he just takes shelter at the feet of a Sadguru. The Sadguru has to say this only: don't fear, I will lead you to that destination. The self or the soul is within you. I remember when I first heard about Baba, I heard about him. And when I went to sleep at night, I don't think I was dreaming, but I was seeing a scene, and my sleep would get broken. I was seeing a scene as if an old person is sitting with his legs hanging, and I'm doing pranam at those feet, shedding profuse tears. Those tears were not of dukkha. Those tears were not of any suffering. Those tears of unburdening oneself, finding somebody where I can tell what is troubling me, finding somebody and having a confidence that he is the one to whom I can tell what is worrying my heart, what is there in my heart, and I was sure he had accepted me. I did not know what was the next path, next moment of that feeling. Did not know. But when I started reading Viveka Chudamani, I'm always reminded of that scene that I had experienced. A Shishya can only go to the Guru and surrender or try to surrender with all the good and bad in him, all the defects in him, all that troubles him or gives him happiness. He can fall at the feet of the Sadguru and can sincerely, seriously, from the core of the heart can say, I've come, please take my charge. Take my charge. Wherever I have to be led, please lead me there. Whatever is the right direction or destination for me, please take me there. I am yours. So, this is what is happening here. Shankaracharya again says that the Guru says, and the Guru knows, that when a Shishya comes by giving this kind of a knowledge, the worldly portion will cease to exist, and there will be permanent and ceaseless ananda for anybody. Come to this shloka 46. Shraddha bhakti jnana yogan mumukshoh.
Shraddha bhakti dhyana yogan mumukshoh.
Shraddha bhakti jnana yogan mumukshoh.
Shraddha bhakti dhyana yogan mumukshoh.
Mukter hetun.
Mukter hetun.
Mukter hetun bhakti sakshat shrutergi.
Mukter hetun bhakti sakshat shrutergi.
Yo vaete shiva.
Yo va eteshveva.
Yo vaete shveva.
Yo va eteshveva.
Tishthatyamushya.
Tishthatyamushya.
Moksho vidya kalpita deha bandhat.
Moksho vidya kalpita deha bandhat.
Shraddha bhakti dhyana yogan mumuksho.
श्रद्धा भक्ति ध्यान योगान् मुमुक्षोः
मुक्तेर्हेतून् भक्ति साक्षात् श्रुतेर्गीः
मुक्तेर्हेतून् भक्ति साक्षात् श्रुतेर्गीः
यो वा एतेष्वेव तिष्ठत्यमुष्य
यो वा एतेष्वेव तिष्ठत्यमुष्य
मुक्षो विद्या कल्पितात् देहबन्धात्
मोक्षो विद्या कल्पितात् देहबन्धात्
See, Shrutergihi, the Shruti says, Shruti is the Upanishads. It says, these three are the immediate factors of liberation. Which three? Shraddha, Bhakti, Dhyana Yoga, Dhyana. So, Shraddha, Bhakti and Dhyana. What is Shraddha? Shraddha we have seen. Shastrasya, Guruvakyasya, Satya Buddhya Avadharanam. So have very strong faith in Shastra Vakya and Guru Vakya. And what is Bhakti? Bhakti also I have not taken that shloka, but now we can go back. I'm sorry, we will not be able to show you. It says, Bhakti is Moksha Karana Samagryam 31 shloka. Moksha Karana Samagryam Bhaktireva Gariyasi. So if you want moksha, you must have bhakti. What is that bhakti? Bhakti in Vedanta is defined as Swaswarupānusandhānam bhaktirityabhidhīyate. What is bhakti? We generally by bhakti we mean bhakti for God, where the heart is involved. We want to see God in our heart. We want to have more and more love for Him, forgetting everything else. Here also actually it is so. What is bhakti? Swaswarupānusandhānam. That is, anusandhana of oneself in one's heart. This is bhakti. So unless we have bhakti, that is very blazing bhakti, to pursue this path, it is called Atmanishtha. Swaswarupānusandhanam, you can also say it is Atmanishtha. That nishtha should be there. That steadfastness to pursue this path, because you love this path. You cannot do without it. You want to know what you are. What is your self or soul? So, Shraddha, Bhakti and Dhyana. Dhyana is Ekanishtha Bhavana. Constantly thinking about the self in your own heart and realizing the self. Understanding that yourself and Brahman is the same. This Dhyana. So this says, in this sloka Shankaracharya is saying that whoever remains in these three factors, and he will be able to get away or remove the Deha Bandha. That is the ignorance that we have by thinking that this limited body, mind and intelligence is the self. From that ignorance, one will be able to very easily go across and understand what is this self or true identity. So the Shishya says, come to 48. Kripaya, Shishya says now. Now see, the Guru has given a confidence to the Shishya. Don't fear. He has not said, where from have you come? Who are you? I will not talk to you now. I am busy. Or nothing like that. He has made the Shishya feel that the Shishya can approach the Guru freely and that the Guru has accepted him. So now the Shishya asks a question. Shishya says, I want to ask you a question, my Lord. I've got so many questions in my mind. I want to ask. Shishya says, Kripaya Shruyatam Swamin
कृपया श्रूयतां स्वामिन्
Prashnoyam Kriyate Maya
प्रश्नोऽयं क्रियते मया
Yaduttaramaham Shrutva
यदुत्तरमहं श्रुत्वा
Kritarthasyam Bhavanmukhat
कृतार्थस्यां भवन्मुखात्
Kripaya Shruyatam Swamin.
कृपया श्रूयतां स्वामिन्
I would again tell you, imagine the scene and be that Shishya. Kripaya Shruyatam Swamin.
कृपया श्रूयतां स्वामिन्
Kripaya Shruyatam Swamin.
कृपया श्रूयतां स्वामिन्
Prashnoyam Kriyate Maya
प्रश्नोऽयं क्रियते मया
Yaduttaramaham Shrutva
यदुत्तरमहं श्रुत्वा
Kritarthasyam Bhavanmukham.
कृतार्थस्यां भवन्मुखात्
Kripaya, O Lord, by your grace and with your compassion, please listen to the question that I have. And if you will give me a reply, then I will feel blessed. Saying this, he asks his question. What is the question? Ko nama bandha kathamesha agataha
को नाम बन्धः कथमेष आगतः
कथं प्रतिष्ठास्य कथं विमोक्षः
कथं प्रतिष्ठास्य कथं विमोक्षः
को सावनात्मा परमः कात्मा
को सावनात्मा परमः कात्मा
तयोर्विवेकः कथमेतदुच्यताम्
तयोर्विवेकः कथमेतदुच्यताम्
को नाम बन्धः कथमेषागतः
को नाम बन्धः कथमेष आगतः
कथं प्रतिष्ठास्य कथं विमोक्षः
कथं प्रतिष्ठास्य कथं विमोक्षः
को सावनात्मा परमः कात्मा
को सावनात्मा परमः कात्मा
तयोर्विवेकः कथमेतदुच्यताम्
तयोर्विवेकः कथमेतदुच्यताम्
He says, Ko nama bandha. What is this bondage? What is this bondage by which I always feel constricted? I don't feel free. My mind does not feel free. Always I am as if burdened and wound up by something. Tension, anger, anxiety, fear and everything. Where from this bondage come? So what is this bondage? And kathamesha agataha, where from they come to the mind. Even if I don't want them, I find that I am bound. I never feel that my mind is free. Always there is something in the mind which gives a burden. Katham pratisthasya, on what is this bondage? On what subsisting? On what is this bondage subsisting? What is the substratum of this bondage? Katham pratisthasya katham vimokshaha. And how will I be free of the bondage? Please tell me. Ko savanatma. What is this anatma? Kau asau anatma. What is this anatma? Sorry, not kau. Kaha asau anatma. what is this Anatma? And Paramah ka Atma, what is the Paramatma? Tayor Vivekaha. So Anatma and Atma, Paramatma. So between Atma and Anatma, what is the Vivekaha? How do you distinguish between the two? Katham etad uchyatam. Will you please tell me? So his humble question is this. Please tell me why I am having a bondage. Why I am feeling constricted. Wherefrom has it come? On what does it subsist? How will I get released from it? What is this Atma and what is Anatma? Whatever is not Atma is Anatma. So what are those? And tell me how to distinguish between Atma and Anatma. Please give me this. Give me the reply to this. The whole of Vivek Chudamani is the reply to this. And what did the Guru say? Next sloka. Dhanyosi, kritakrityosi, pavitam te kulam tvaya, yad avidya bandha muktya, brahmi bhavitum icchasi. Guru, Guru becomes so delighted, so pleased, so happy that a Shishya has come and has asked him this question. Yesterday also Swamiji was saying that a realized person will always want to impart realization to the others. So a Sadguru knows, by knowing the self, everybody will be able to go beyond unhappiness and restlessness, fearfulness, everything. So always he feels that if alone people will come and ask me about the path. Very few people come to ask. And here is one who has come and is asking this question. When a Shishya comes and asks this question, Guru is happy, delighted, extremely happy, extremely delighted. He is not that happy when people come and ask other questions. Definitely, he talks to them, gives them advice. There also, he tries to unburden their fear or their dukkha, affliction. But when somebody asks about the self, then he is the most happy. Unfortunately, most people do not ask. People do come to Sadgurus, but their question will be, please bless my family. Please see that my daughter is married. Please see that my son gets a job. My promotion is not happening. I must get the promotion. A case is pending in the court that should be solved. So like this, people come and ask. The Guru gives blessings for that also. But he is most happy when a Shishya with Viveka, Vairagya and actual quest come and ask this question. And all our scriptures you will find, it starts with this kind of a question. Bhagavad Gita, we know, Arjuna asked Sri Krishna. Yesterday Swamiji took Ashtavakra Samhita, where Ashtavakra was asked by King Janaka, Katham jnanam avapnoti, katham muktir bhavishyati. He is also asking for mukti. How jnana will be attained? How will I be liberated? Vairagyam cha katham praptam. How will I get vairagya? Etad bruhi mama prabhu. O Guru, please tell me how will I get jnana? How will I be liberated? And how I will have vairagya? Because vairagya is necessary to have the jnana. Here also the seeker has come. He has a little vairagya, viveka, mumuksha definitely, and some qualities. He has come and he is asking, please tell me, katham vimoksha. How I will be liberated from the shackles of my mind and intelligence. My mind and intelligence are having so much of shackles which is binding. I feel that I am bound. Always there is non-fulfillment, non-contentment, having everything in life, maybe a very good family, wealth, comfort, children, a little name, fame and prestige, everything. But still, there is no contentment. There is no fulfillment in life. So the Guru says, Dhanyosi, Kritakrityosi, Pavitam te kulam tvaya. He says, you are dhanya, you are kritakritya. That is, you have met the life's end. By this question, you have met your life's end. No more questions to be asked. And you are blessed. You are dhanna dhanya. Pavitam te kulam tvaya. Why? All these questions and whatever I will tell, actually by your questioning these questions has purified your whole family, your lineage. They have got purified. In Mundakopanishad it is said, seven generations up and 7 generations below. When somebody takes to this path, especially becomes sannyasin, so 7 generations below and up are purified. So here also the Guru is saying, Pavitam te kulam tvaya, yad avidya bandha muktya brahmi bhavitum ichchasi. Because in your question, what are you asking? That you want to get rid of the avidya by which you are in ajnana. What is the ajnana? You are feeling that you are bound. You are feeling you are bound. Actually, the self is not bound. The self is free, eternal. There is no bondage. But since we are identifying ourselves with this body, mind, intelligence and ego, because of their feeling of bondage, we also feel that I am bound. And what have you asked? Yad avidya bandha muktya brahmi bhavitum ichchasi. By your question, actually what you are wanting to know is that, how will I get rid of this bandhana? Only by knowing the self you will get to feel that you are free, you are liberated. And what is that? Actually, you are wanting to become Brahman. You are wanting to realize Brahman. So, dhanyosi, kritakrityosi, pavitam te kulam tvaya, yad avidya bandha muktya, brahmi bhavatum ichchasi. Brahmi bhavitum ichchasi. Then he also goes on saying, the Guru, he says that I will give you the reply. But what I have to tell you is that if you are feeling a burden, just like suppose you are carrying a burden and going and you want to get unburdened, then somebody can take off that load from your head and make you unburdened. This knowing the self is not like that. You are feeling burdened and bound. You are having a feeling of bondage in you. For that, you have to work yourself. You have to do sadhana yourself. You have to make effort. He says, suppose there is a patient and he wants to recover, then the patient must take medicine. If without medicine, he just does other things by which medicine is not taken, but he feels maybe he does some chanting of mantra or whatever you do, or somebody else does some work for you, you have to take the medicine if you want to recover. And he also says, 54th verse, see this 54th verse. Vastuswarupam sputabodha chakshusha, Vastuswarupam sputabodha chakshusha,
Vastuswarupam sputabodhachakshuषा
Svenaiva vedyam natu panditena,
Svenaiva vedyam natu panditena
Chandraswarupam nijachakshusaiva,
चन्द्रस्वरूपं निजचक्षुषैव
ज्ञातव्यमन्यैरवगम्यते किम्
ज्ञातव्यमन्यैरवगम्यते किम्
वस्तुस्वरूपं स्फुटबोधचक्षुषा
वस्तुस्वरूपं स्फुटबोधचक्षुषा
स्वेनैव वेद्यं न तु पण्डितेन
स्वेनैव वेद्यं न तु पण्डितेन
चन्द्रस्वरूपं निजचक्षुषैव
चन्द्रस्वरूपं निजचक्षुषैव
ज्ञातव्यमन्यैरवगम्यते किम्
ज्ञातव्यमन्यैरवगम्यते किम्
Just like suppose you want to know what is this moon. Then you have to see it yourself. Somebody may draw a picture, show you a photo, describe it. You will not be able to know. What you have to do? You have to yourself see with your eyes. Similarly, what is this Atma? What is this Brahman? I will be able to tell you. But to realize it, you will have to make your own effort. And he gives many examples. He says that, as I told you just now, suppose you are sick and you have to take medicine. Instead of taking the medicine, if you just sit and say, medicine, 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 you will not be cured. You have to gulp in the medicine. Similarly, suppose somebody has said that there is some kind of treasure, at that place, under the earth, there is some kind of treasure. If you just go to that place and say, come treasure, come, will the treasure come to you? You will have to, maybe that place is full of grass, full of pebbles. So you have to first make an effort to remove all those things. Then take some spade or something and dig a hole. And maybe it is down below, so you have to get down. Only by doing so much of effort, you will be able to get the treasure. So this, he is telling the Shishya that how self-effort is necessary. And again, he is saying that I will tell you what is this self. You listen to me with great attention, and you have to do Shravana, Manana and Nididhyasana. Listen to me with all attention, and then you have to reflect on what I have said. After that, you have to contemplate on the knowledge that I have given you. Then alone you will be able to know what you are. What is this self? You know, I am again and again telling you to imagine this scene. The scene is very important. Whenever I read this kind of scriptures, say whether it is an Upanishad, now in the morning classes, Nutan Swamiji is taking Brihadaranyaka Upanishad. You know, you can understand the best if you become that inquirer. So in the morning class, we are all Maitreys, listening to Yajnavalkya, what he is saying, and listening with complete attention, not allowing the mind to go here and there. When Parikshit heard Shukadeva, there is a sloka where this word has been used, Mukta Samasta Bandhanaha. He became completely, he left all his bandhana, all his worries, all his desires, everything. Parikshit had actually left everything and went and sat for Prayopadesha, not drinking, not taking food, just wanting to know about God. And he was asking all the Pandits who had assembled there that please tell me, at this time when I know my death is imminent, what should I think? What should I do so that I become united with God? All this while I thought I'm a great devotee. I have got noble virtues, but all that became mistaken because I got angry and I have insulted a rishi. And I have been rightly punished by the son of the rishi that on the 7th day I'll be bitten by a snake, Takshaka, and I will die. But I have come to know that 7 days are there for me to live. So, although I thought that I am a great devotee, I have understood that I did not attain the devotee-like qualities. I need to develop the devotee-like qualities now. And what a devotee will do, with whole mind will be fixed on God. I want to do that. So, please all of you, all the Pandits, all the Rishis, please tell me what I should do. And after that, Shukadeva comes. So why I told this? Mukta samasta bandhanaha. So when we are listening, especially when in this retreat, our minds should be, when we go for such retreats or attend such retreats, our mind should be completely focused on what we hear. So, we are hearing, as when Swamiji is talking, yesterday we became King Janaka, asking the question to Rishi Ashtavakra. And in the morning sessions, we are Maitri. And when in Viveka Chudamani we are going verse by verse, we are that Shishya. I would like to read out to you, actually I would like to describe to you the Sabha where Sri Rama asked a question. What did Sri Rama ask? Sri Rama, he got lot of vairagya, having gone around the country, finding lot of misery everywhere. He also found that nothing is permanent. So what is that understanding? How do we go beyond this dukkha of the world? So he became morose, gloomy. He stopped coming to the sabha. He was simply keeping to himself, not even coming and doing pranam to his elders and parents. And at that time, Vishwamitra had come and he wanted to take Rama to the forest where they were getting troubled by the Rakshasas. He wanted Rama to go with him and kill those Rakshasas. So Rama was called and Rama was asked why he is so gloomy. And Rama said, this has happened to me. Then Vishwamitra tells Vasishthadev that you being the preceptor of the king, in their lineage, you are the preceptor. So you must explain to Rama how to go beyond this misery by knowing the supreme truth. And Vasishthadev instructs Rama. That is Yoga Vasishtha Ramayana. But the setting, in the beginning of Nirvana Prakarana, there is a description. How was those sabhas? 18 days Vasishthadev talked to Sri Rama. Not alone. Sri Rama and his brothers were there. King Dasharatha was there. Queens were there. And many Brahmins, Pandits, even some from the heaven, they also descended to listen to this conversation where Vasishthadev was telling him, Rama was asking him again Vasishtha was explaining, it was going on. And I would like to read it out because I think that will only convey what. See, they were all listening. And while listening, Rama, not only Rama, most of them would get absorbed into themselves, so that when Vasishthadev would stop at the end of the day, most of them will be contemplating, closing their eyes. And then Vasishthadev would say that let us go for our Sandhya Vandanam. Then all of them would get up and go. The princes, they will go along. Everybody will follow the saints, Vishwamitra and Vasishtha, to their hermitage. And from half a distance, king and others will come back after prostration. The princes will go to the hermitage along with the saints. And after coming back, everybody would be busy with their own work of ablutions and other work. And at night, all will be contemplating on whatever they have heard. Whatever they have heard. Rama and the brothers will have sleepless nights. Early in the morning, they will take bath and they will go again to bring the rishis to the sabha. And when they would reach there, after prostration, they will start taking them, escorting them. Many others would come there, even the king and ministers, to take the rishis to the sabha for the next day's discourse. After everybody has taken seat, Vasishthadev would say that, did all of you ruminate on whatever I have told yesterday? Did you ruminate? Should I start my discourse? This was the ambience. We should have that kind of ambience. And why I'm telling today this, actually I was thinking that I will read a little bit, but then all the time will be gone. But I am telling you about this because I am feeling, I don't know whether all the others here are also feeling, I am feeling throughout the day that kind of an ambience in our sabha. What is the ambience? Apart from the exalted discussion on the supreme wisdom, what struck me most in that sabha of the discourses which Vasishthadev imparted to Sri Rama, what struck my heart most was the ambience in which the knowledge was imparted. The earnest quest, the quest should be earnest, from the heart, not wanting anything else of this world. Then only it becomes earnest. Not that, yes, I want this also, but many other things also. That is not earnest. An earnest quest, the wholesome attention, and the supreme value given to this knowledge as well as the knower. Do you get me? Supreme value given to the knowledge as well as the knower. That kind of a feeling should be there while listening. And somehow, this time, I'm feeling like that. For all the sessions, in my session I'm talking, but I find everybody attentive, listening. And the other two sessions where I am listening, Pujya Swamiji's sessions, Nutun Swamiji's Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, I think that ambience is created here. And immediately my mind goes to all of you, and I feel like telling you, shoutingly, please create that atmosphere in your house. You are so blessed that you are having so many discourses to listen to, so much of imparting of knowledge to you. Plus, please create that ambience. This is not to be listened just like that, sitting on a sofa or doing something else and also listening. Sit straight on your asana. Forget everything. and then your whole heart you put forward and say Chaya, please drench me with the nectarine words, and may I be able to keep them. Yesterday somebody asked a question after Swamiji's session in the Q&A, that why is it that in spite of hearing and listening so many discourses in my life, we are not able to grasp this knowledge or realize as Arjuna did, or as Sri Rama did, or Parikshit did. This is the difference. I don't know whether he is listening, but this is the difference. We are not able to give that much of mind. Our quest is not that serious. Our quest is not wholesome. And our mind has not yet got that one-pointedness by which we feel that we are mukta samasta bandhana, shutting out everything and just getting drenched. So it depends on the listener who listens. And may we be, I pray that all of us be that true listener, true Shishya, who can have this dharana, who can receive and retain the knowledge which has been given, which is being given. Then the Guru says, 67, have I given that one? 67. Yastvaya kritah prashno,
Yastvaya kritah prashno,
Variyan shastra vinmataha,
Variyan shastra vinmataha,
Sutra prayo nigudhartho,
Sutra prayo nigudhartho,
Jnatavyasya mumukshubhihi,
Jnatavyascha mumukshubhihi,
Yastvaya kritah prashno,
Yastvaya kritah prashno,
Variyan shastra vinmataha,
Variyan shastra vinmataha,
Sutra prayo nigudhartho,
Sutra prayo nigudhartho,
Jnatavyasya mumukshubhihi.
Jnatavyascha mumukshubhihi.
The Guru says, Adya yaha tvaya kritaha variyan shastra vinmataha sutra prayaha nigudharthaha mumukshubhihi jnatavyaha. Adya yaha prashnaha tvaya kritaha. The prashna which you have asked today. What was the prashna? Don't forget that. Ko nama bandha kathamesha agataha katham pratisthasya katham vimokshaha kosavanatma paramah ka atma tayor vivekaha kathametaduchyatam. So that is the prashna. So he said that this prashna, first he said dhanyosi, kritakrityosi. Your whole lineage will be purified by this question, because you are not asking anything else from me. You are not asking anything else, anything material. You are asking that, please tell me by which I will be liberated. And this prashna is Variyan. Variyan means Shrestha. It is a greatest prashna. This question is one of the best, an excellent question. And Shastra Vinmataha, those who are well versed in the scriptures, they will also agree that this question is a very excellent question. And you have asked the question in a very cryptic manner, in small words, not too many. Like when Swamiji has also asked question, some people will ask before the question comes, so much will be told that what is the question will not be understood. So Swamiji has to ask, so what is your question? He will ask, because such a big lecture has gone. So question can be in a manner easily understood. So Nigudhartho, it is a question has been asked in very, very small manner, small words, and it is Nigudhartha. It is very deep. Nigudhartha. It's a very deep question. Mumukshubhi jnatavyaha. And mumukshubhi jnatavyaha. Anybody who has mumuksha and wants to know the self, this question, what has been asked by you, is a very excellent question, and whatever will be told, it is to be understood by every mumukshu. Anybody who has mumuksha should be understood, should be happy to know. You know, the similar, in all Shastras you will find similar things, because mumukshus are same. One who has real mumuksha, there's no difference. The heart is crying to know. So, in Bhagavatam also, when Parikshit has asked, what did he ask? Yat shrotavyam atho japyam, yat kartavyam nibhit prabho, smartavyam japaniyam va, bhajaniyam va, etad bruhi, bhajaniyam va, bruhi yadva viparyayam. I will tell again. Yat shrotavyam atho japyam, yat kartavyam nibhit prabho, smartavyam japaniyam va, bruhi yadva viparyayam. He said that my days are numbered, so how will I be growing my devotion? Supreme devotion I will grow in myself so that I get united with God. Please tell me to do that. And this fear that I have to go beyond it, the fear that I'm going to get bitten by the snake, and on 7th day I will die. So there is fear. So to go beyond this fear, what shall I do? What will I hear? What will I? Shrotavyam atho japyam. What will I do? What japa I should do? Yat kartavyam. What is the duty that I should do? What I should do as action? Smartavyam. What should I remember? Bhajaniyam va. What should I worship? Whom should I worship? Please tell me this. Also, yadva viparyayam. What I should not do. Because that is something very important. Maybe he is listening, but of course, Parikshit has given up drinking and eating. But in between he thinks of something else. Then the whole hearing will be worthless, valueless, meaningless. So the listening should be such that you are able to contemplate on it. Now, most of the listeners, what will happen? We may listen. Listening for how much time? During retreat time, it is 3 hours. During other times, maybe 1 hour, 2 hours, when sometimes people are, these days, because of all this availability of CDs and YouTubes, you can hear maybe 3, 4, 5 lectures also a day. But what about the rest of the time? Is your mind wholesome? Are you thinking about that? Are you ruminating, reflecting, contemplating? And rest of the time, you are allowing your mind to go to the distracting objects of the world. Like you have listened, and immediately when you meet somebody, start socializing, talking, asking each other about the family and other things. Whereas both of you who have listened can discuss what you have listened to. If you have a doubt, you ask, I did not understand this portion. Can you tell me, have you understood? Or shall both of us go and ask Swamiji tomorrow that this point we did not understand? Instead of that, mostly people will start talking to each other. So, he's saying, Yadva viparyayam. If you do something which is against your listening attentively, against it, then nothing will take place. You know what Shukadeva said? The first instruction, when he started talking, the first thing he said is, Variyaneshate prashnaha. Shukadeva, Parikshit was in tears, sitting like this at the feet of the Guru and asking him, please tell me. And Shukadeva replies, Variyaneshate prashnaha. Your prashna, whatever you have heard, is excellent, greatest. Krito lokahito nripa. Nripa means king. O king, whatever you have heard, ask me, is excellent. And it will do lokahita. By asking one question, not only you will be benefited, whatever I say, for days and years to come, people will be benefited. So your question is not just for you, not just to alleviate your fear, or not just to know the way how you can grow devotion to God. Whatever I will tell, everybody will find their devotion, growth of devotion, progress in devotion. So it is a lokahita. It is a question. It's not a simple question. And he said the same thing, what here Guru is saying. What did he say? Variyan Shastra Vinmataha. All the people who are well versed in scriptures, they will all agree that your question is very big, very great and excellent. And here Shukadeva also told Parikshit, Atmavid sammatah pumsam shrotavyadishu yaparaha. That whatever is, there are many things in this world to be heard. Out of that, this question, what you have said, and the reply that I will give, it is for lokahita. Anybody who has realized God and realized self, who are well versed in the scriptures, will agree to that. Then he says, Shrinushva avahito vidvan 68. Shrinushva avahito vidvan.
Shrinushva avahito vidvan.
Shrinushva avahito vidvan.
Shrinushva avahito vidvan.
Yanmaya samudiryate.
Yanmaya samudiryate.
Shrinushva avahito vidvan.
Shrinushva avahito vidvan.
Yanmaya samudiryate.
Yanmaya samudiryate.
Tadetashravanat sadyo.
Tadetashravanat sadyo.
Bhavabandhat vimokshase.
Bhavabandhat vimokshase.
He says, please listen attentively. Listen to what I am going to say and listen attentively. By listening to whatever I say, you will be instantly freed from bondage. But that listening has to be what? One-pointed, wholesome. Not allowing the mind to deflect here and there. Just like Rama was illumined, just like Arjuna was illumined, just like Parikshit was illumined. We are not able to immediately get the benefit because our listening is not to that extent. But doesn't matter. Still, we should listen. So he says, please listen. Shrinushva. Oh my son, listen. I think this abhaya the Guru gives, that I am going to tell you about the greatest treasure a man can have, about the soul, about yourself, what you are really, that you are eternal, imperishable, you are changeless, you are birthless, deathless, you are fearless, unaffected. You are the only one, one without a second. You are the Brahman. I am going to tell you this. So listen very carefully and attentively. Then he says, Mokshasya hetuh prathamo nigadyate.
Mokshasya hetuh prathamo nigadyate.
Vairagyamatyantamanitya-vastushu.
Vairagyamatyantamanitya-vastushu.
Tatah shamaschapi damastitiksha.
Tatah shamaschapi damastitiksha.
Nyasa prasakta khila karmanam bhrisham.
Nyasa prasakta khila karmanam bhrisham.
So mokshasya hetuhu prathamo nigadyate. That the first step to liberation is told like this. What is that? Extreme vairagya. Mokshasya hetuh prathamo nigadyate. Vairagyam atyantamanitya vastushu. Again we have come back to sadhana chatushtaya. He is again telling. Earlier Shankaracharya was saying that sadhana chatushtaya should be followed and imbibed and led. Now the Guru, when he starts, he says that mokshasya hetu, for moksha, getting liberated, first thing is necessary is vairagya. There should be vairagya. This, I want to know the soul and soul alone. I am not interested in knowing other things. I am not interested. I give the supreme position to this knowledge. Now what will you all think? You will think that how can we do all this like this? How can we think like this? We are in the household. Okay. Don't be like this Shishya who has given up the life. But at least when your mind is free, don't waste it. Don't waste it in anything else. Have this feeling. Have this question in the mind. Am I feeling a disinterestedness in many things that I used to like? I find that those are not giving me any satisfaction. And what are the things till now you are still attached to? This has to be understood. Otherwise, how will the vairagya grow? Vairagya has to be there. See, we all can listen about the self, read this whole of Vivek Chudamani and the Upanishads and other things. We will get a knowledge of the self. What is self described as? And how to go towards that. But that will be all. Like, there is a beautiful sloka at the end of Vivek Chudamani. I'm not remembering it. It will be like seeing a picture of fire. We don't know what that fire neither can do, neither can heat you, nor can cook anything for you. But a fire picture you can make. Nowadays, I think this with all this the technology also, IT also, they make fire, animation and other things. Fire can be made, but neither it will have any heat nor the burning power. Fire will not have. So, vairagyam atyantam anitya vastushu, understanding that everything else is anitya, that viveka should come in. And that viveka, every day, trying to analyze yourself, evaluate yourself, try to see whether you are applying your viveka to understand that many things that I do is actually I need not do. But that time I can spend in manana of whatever I have read or heard. Vairagyam atyantam anitya vastushu tatah shamaschapi damastitisha. And shama, dama, shatka sampatti and nyasa prashakta akhila karmanam prisham. And here, because it is meant for a person who has left everything and come for this knowledge, he has left every work. So saying, all the karma which you are doing for your self-gain, leave those things. So selfless karma you can do, but selfish karma don't. Tata, next one. Tata shrutistan mananam. Tata shrutistat mananam satatva.
Tata shrutistan mananam satatva.
Why I am seeing this book, because it gives the Anvaya. This English book does not give the Anvaya, but this one is giving. So I am seeing that, but it is not good.
Satatva dhyanam.
Satatva dhyanam. Tata shrutistan mananam satatva.
Tata shrutistan mananam satatva.
Dhyanam chiram nitya nirantaram munehe.
Dhyanam chiram nitya nirantaram munehe.
Tata shrutistan mananam satatva dhyanam chiram nitya nirantaram munehe.
Tata shrutistan mananam satatva dhyanam chiram nitya nirantaram munehe.
Tato vikalpam parametya vidvan.
Tato vikalpam parametya vidvan.
Ihaiva nirvana sukham samrichhati.
Ihaiva nirvana sukham samrichhati.
Tata shrutistan mananam satatva dhyanam chiram nitya nirantaram munehe.
Tata shrutistan mananam satatva dhyanam chiram nitya nirantaram munehe.
Tato vikalpam parametya vidvan.
Tato vikalpam parametya vidvan.
Ihaiva nirvana sukham samrichhati.
Ihaiva nirvana sukham samrichhati.
So he says, after that, when you are growing in sadhana chatushtayam, you must listen as he is now listening to his guru. And after that, what? Mananam. In the Brihadaranyaka Upanishad, Yajnavalkya was saying that Shravanam, Mananam, Nididhyasanam. So like that, Shravanam, Mananam and Nididhyasanam. So we will take this tomorrow because I think our time is over. And I would again say that it is not just listening. We have to create that ambience by being focused, attentive and wholesome, and also reflecting on whatever we have heard. Okay. Prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nityabodhasvarupam param nishchalam nirgunam sarvarupam bhajeham sada smarami pranami. Prabuddham vimuktam vikaradihinam prasannam sada nityabodhasvarupam
param nishchalam nirgunam sarvarupam
bhajeham sada smarami
pranami.